Sir, how would you describe this beautiful medical life from a third person's point of view?
Actually, it's difficult to define from a third person because you are the first person, you are the second person, you also happen to be the third person. You are the first person when you go through it, you are the second person when you are guiding it, and you are the third person when you have gone through all that and taking a different point of view. So you yourself become first, second, and third. But I understand the question. I understand from a different person's point of view. Let me say it in 3 stages. There was a generation of my father-in-law who was a doctor, MBBS doctor. He was a classmate of Colonel Godava Maharaja. On his name, university, there's a stadium in his name. But he was a medical student. Most people didn't know that. He was a medical student. He discontinued after marrying the sister of the Maharaja of Travancore. So I'm talking about years ago, where an MBBS doctor was God and master. Everybody loved him. And whatever he said was gospel truth. There was no problem. If something went wrong, parents or the patients would take it as their own fate. There was a lot of contentment, lot of money also, not the way you think now in the thing, but at least enough to survive. There was no problem. So I would say Dr. K.N. Pai, that era I'm talking about, where I know jokingly people say, Pai sir used to take a long time to see patients. Okay, so one patient has gone in, he will go inside. I'm not just jokingly, I'm saying, I'm told he'll go inside, he will do every work, come back, and still the person sitting outside will think that, sir is examining the person for such a long time. That is a sort of period, a golden period. But they were real good doctors. They were. My own father-in-law once told me, just look at my pulse. I looked at it and I didn't find anything problem. So he said, I think it is digitalis toxicity because he was on digitalis. Okay. I said, okay, we'll take an ECG and see. And took an ECG, he was right. So what has happened is, those days there was only clinical skill and they are sharpened it to such an extent. Whereas now the second generation, my generation came, some amount of technology has come. So we were fortunate because still we were depending on clinical skill, but to support the clinical skill, we had some amount of technology there. Patients were still believing you, not bad, but occasionally they will create problem. There was what is so-called discontent among patients because till then death was the rule. See, for example, in my very childhood, if somebody went to Vellore, it means he won't come back. Not because Vellore was bad, but that's the ultimate. That is ultimate. Once you are referred to Vellore means it's the ultimate, nothing more can happen. He will get treated there. Most often, he will not come back. So all that was accepted even in my time. But then what happens? And lot of hard work. I say hard work. In SAT hospital, I have taken 19 years, I have taken casualty duty, and our time, 12 hours continuous casualty duty after doing the morning work, imagine. And then after 36 hours, you finish your duty. So 36 hours, next day morning after casualty, you were supposed to be in the ward till afternoon 2 o'clock. So those days are gone. You took me 20 years to become a professor, whereas now you are supposed to get 7 years. So things are really opened up. Things are much better. So that is the period. But now the present generation, unfortunately, is bombarded with technology, and they are very technology savvy. They understand technology very well. So they want to do everything technology. The example of that is, without telling who it is, I can tell you, I referred a patient to one specialist, okay, and the child I knew had this problem. It's a girl, adolescent girl. So I told the girl, see, nowadays doctor won't, and he's a young doctor. Her problem was hair all over. I mean, too much of hair, unbelievably hair. So it could be something more than what I'm normally looking at. But I said, doctors won't examine. Better, you should tell him that I have this problem, and you keep showing him that I have hair here, there, everything. Okay? And said, unless you take initiative, he won't take initiative. Please tell that you have problem. I have come for a problem. In spite of all that, he just asked a question. wrote all the, I mean, he understood problem, he understood quickly, so he wrote all the what do you call, investigations. Next time went there, saw the investigation, and wrote the medicines. She says, I really don't think he will recognize me if I see again. Now, this is not medicine. The new generation medicine is treating the lab report. That is not medicine. Even now, medicine is clinical examination. Okay. That's the most important part. I remember my own wife had a problem, seen by 2-3 people, couldn't make it. So it had gone to the senior most professor in Trivandrum. Okay, retired elderly person, trained in England. I told him, sir, he will examine from head to toe. You understand, for a lady examining from head to toe, don't feel bad. My wife only, I told her, I prepared her that's how you make a diagnosis. He trained in England, that's the way it's supposed to be. And he diagnosed. It was a vitamin D deficiency nobody ever thought of. So at the end of the examination, they will come out with a clear cut, which was confirmed later, and the reason was done. Instead of that, if you go only by, you just, patient comes, you start writing investigation, report comes, you start there. What we are missing is a technology mission, not medicine. Get the message? It's a technology mission and not medicine. And if it is medicine, you have to talk to the person. Your talking itself is 50% clear. Okay? Medicine is bio, psycho, social. Biology part is the what we are talking, learn in anatomy, physiology till medicine. The psychosocial part, unfortunately, our students are not exposed to psychology. They are not exposed to social status. And our children now, the present, my son, most example, I'm not blaming anybody. My own children probably have not seen misery in life so much as I have seen. They are not seen. I'll tell you what happens is, when a person comes from a faraway place, remember, there is a problem. It takes some time for everybody to agree that there is a problem. Okay, then they decide that, where should we take? It takes some more time to decide where, it has to be taken to medical college. And then where is the vehicle? So they are running for vehicle. And if you have a vehicle, now where is the money? So they are arranging money. After all this, it may be 4 o'clock in the morning. They come to the casualty, and the first response is usually not good. They'll say, first minimum, the house surgeon will say, why didn't you come earlier? So recently, one joke happened. Somebody said, sir, now only he fell from the tree. Coconut tree, how can you come early? See, understand my point. That first point of contact with a doctor should have been a pleasant experience. For that, our children should see what is poverty, what is the difficulty of other people. We all demand that we need to be treated nicely, but we forget that same thing applies to other people. And for example, when you become sick and go to a hospital, same hospital where you work, you will give umpteen number of complaints, because when it comes to your own kith and kin, you think of a different standard. That cannot. That's probably the difference between the 3 generations. Okay.